You know, the evolution of Zambian football is sometimes a little bit difficult to describe, but for me, essentially, it is seeing us move from an era when people had real passion for playing football. You know, as kids, you'd go out in the streets, wherever you find a pitch that's available, or anything that looks like a pitch, you'll be out there playing football. If you had no goalpost, you put up sticks. And fast forward to today, football is being a bit more commercialized. We have been taking away that fun aspect from the game, the passion of young people in the game. And so a lot of players now focus more on what they'll get out of football beyond the fun experience. We essentially had an identity in Zambia, you know, a lot of flair, a lot of happiness when playing, less functionality, but now you see a trajectory that is more function in play, less enjoyment, less identity. So Zambian football, I think, has taken a positive trend, you know, more modern ways. However, we've lost a bit of our identity, and it would be nice to see that come back. The last season has been an interesting one. It's taught me a lot of lessons as an individual, lessons in leadership, you know, lessons in how I relate to the next person. Looking at the journey of Aguila, we qualified into the national division, and in our first season, we were one position above relegation. So one would argue that we barely survived, but I think our target then was to stay in the league. You remember, it's a very difficult league that you've come into. Our following season, we made a lot of progress. We finished 7th, actually joint points with 6th. So there was that progression. And in National League, you only need to achieve top 4. And so when we came to our 3rd season, the challenges were many and the lessons were a lot. We finished 11th in our just ended season with 40 points, shy of the ambitions that we set. We wanted to qualify to the Super League. We wanted at mid-season to qualify for Absa Cup, and we didn't achieve those things. However, there was bigger lessons to learn, lessons that we drew on, cannot be taught, you know, just by coasting through a season. Lessons like resilience. You know, when we started the season, we started with only 3 of our players because most of our players were being tapped by other clubs. Some had even left. By the time some were returning, it was a week to start from the start of the season. So our preparations were very challenged. We also had difficulties with resources. We had not yet landed our current sponsor. So it's a story of resilience. We learned how to be united as a team. We learned how to stick together. We saw that whenever you are divided, there's really nothing that you can achieve, no matter how talented your team is, no matter how good of a squad you may have. Unity is key. Unity is key. As an individual, I learned a lot of lessons on loyalty. Loyalty from players, loyalty from staff, because there was a lot of people that went through the season with us under so much difficulty, yet remained loyal. And that in itself saw us maintain our position in the league. It also gave us an opportunity to see the many things that we need to work on. So challenges, I believe, are the best teacher. And we have learned quite a lot and excited about what's to come. One of the main challenges, I think, was lack of ambition. One may look at it as not a big challenge. But for a team sport, you need ambition, you need unity of purpose. So the moment that you are a bit disjointed, with some people just being comfortable to exist, some people just happy to be where they are, they actually tend to draw or pull back those that are ambitious and wanting to progress. So it's a big challenge. You need unity of purpose. You need to be of one mind when you're trying to achieve something. Another one of the big challenges we saw is a lack of preparation. If there was a season where we were unprepared to start the season, it was this one. We started the season with 18 players registered because we did not have sufficient resource to register our whole squad. We lost, I think, 6 of our first team players to a rival club. They had just dropped down into the league, and 5 of our main starters all went to this one club. So we had a challenge with preparation. We had no facilities to train from for pre-season. I remember having to engage some people in the showgrounds, the show society, to assist us with a pitch, and they gave us a place at Gymkhana in the middle of nowhere just to be able to train from and assemble a squad again. So preparation was one of the biggest challenges. On top of that, starting with only 18 players, we experienced a lot of injuries in the squad because these few players had played a lot of football, and the facilities where we were bad. So we're picking up a lot of injuries out of training, out of the pitch that we're using. So injuries really affected us. It was a big challenge. So preparation, a lack of good preparation, injury, and of course the big one, lack of finances. For football, you want to have resources when you need them. You need constant cash flow on the business end, because there's always some things that you need to spend on that demand cash, immediate payments. And we struggled a lot with that. We had in the start of the season a lot of people being owed some salaries and bonuses. So a lot of that affected us, and I take them as very good challenges, because with those challenges we managed to get through the season, and we look forward to a time when there's less of those challenges and see how better prepared we can be for the start of a new season. Important lessons, yes, there's one that is key. It's something that probably people do not see. First of all, you've got to manage with what you have. The typical phrase, living within your means and not beyond your means. I think we learned over the season, especially last season, how to live within our means. Living within your means financially, but also in terms of the talent that's available to you. It means you've got to make adjustments. I personally believe you cannot achieve A-level results with C-level staff. If you want to perform at the highest level, even the people that you have, the talent that you have should be high level. It should be A-level. That's what will give you, a bigger chance of success. Not to say that we had too many C-level staff, but we had to manage with what we had, resource everyone to pull together. And so we'll continue to strive to, attract the best talent, so that gives us a good platform to achieve the things that we want to achieve. The standout moment for me, I think, is 2 periods. One of them being the start of the season. This was a period when I think a lot of people, even within the club, almost gave up, had no hope, because we did not have a squad. And I saw one of our players, and I'll mention him, Harrison Lungu, we call him Abdu, our current captain. He came for training. I remember they just came, the three of them, from the previous season, and his commitment to training, this is pre-season, was unbelievable. He pushed himself without looking at who's left, who's not there, who's going to come. He showed that, look, you've got to have passion for what you do. You've got to have commitment to the cause. And I think he was probably the definition of a real professional, because he looked at it from an individual point of view, took it upon himself as an individual. Another point I think that I look back to is the period we had a very good stretch. We had a point where we went about 7 to 8 games unbeaten with 7 clean sheets. We were just 4 points shy of the 4th slot, the qualifying slot. And soon after, there was a period of some level of disunity in the club. And someone can point to a big win here, a lovely game there, a difficult place that we went. But for me, that was a standout moment, because it showed me what you can do when you're united, when you work together, when you're committed to something, and also showed me what happens when you're disjointed, when there's a bit of disunity in the team, between management and the players, between the coaching staff and the players, or even within the technical team. Any form of disunity can cause you to fail. And so that was a standout for me, because it showed me what unity means when you're trying to achieve something. A special game, one game, I think one of the games I enjoyed was a trip to Mpulungu. A trip to Mpulungu was interesting. I'll probably pick out 2 games. That game, because I saw one player, that essentially should have been out the whole season, Moses Piri, we call him Alfonso. He plays left back, and he played that game and reminded us of how good he is. He reminded us of being able to come back after such a major setback. Another game, and these I think point to comebacks, individual comebacks, was a game we played at home where Thomas Mwambazi featured. I think that was his first game of the season. He was also out for almost a whole season due to illness, and to see him work hard and get back in the side and actually just be on the field and play gave me so much joy. So for me, those are the standout moments. For team performance, I think I would pick the game we played against River Plate. I think the team was united, the team was resilient. We saw a team push from beginning to the end. We were playing away, and in fact it was a debut goal for one of our young players, Thierry. He came on and scored the equalizer in the dying minutes, and so that game I think showed us a lot of unity and team play.